don't they? So, I know it's been a while. I've had the bike for a while and I never really did a video like this, but I thought I should because it's coming up on 2.5 years of ownership, And before I do like a big video like that, I don't want to, bunch up an entire video, make it super long or anything. So I'll just separate those into 2 separate videos. I'll separate this video from that one, make this its own separate video. What I'm going to be doing today is just going over some likes and dislikes that I have of my Yamaha MT-07. So the bike was bought back in 2021. It's a 2019 model, I believe, as stipulated by the, what's the word I'm looking for? By the VIN number, there you go. So yeah. Also, don't mind the cars. They're going to be going up and down the street, obviously. It's a residential area, but yeah. So, like number 1. What I really like about this bike is the power, of course. Number 1 reason that I bought it. So the bike has 74 horsepower and 68 Newton meters of torque. If you want any conversions, I'll just put them up on the screen real quick. So yeah, it's a very punchy bike. It's very, very fun, very intoxicating, adrenaline rush type of thing. One of the things that drew me into this bike in the first place back when I was still in high school, I'll tell you about that entire story in the next video. But yeah. But like number 2, I like how it's a very small bike, It's small, it's light, which means it's a bit nimble. The shorter wheelbase means it's easier to chuck into corners and stuff. Bar the suspension, but I'll talk about that a bit later. So yeah, like number 3, it's very fuel efficient for what it is, but it's a 2-parter to this question. It's a like and a dislike at the same time. But what I do like about the fuel tank and how much fuel you can put in is if you ride very fuel economically. Is that a proper word? If you ride fuel economically, I'll just say it, it's fine. You can get quite some good mileage without paying as much as you would in a car. Of course, bikes are meant to be more fuel efficient than cars, but I'll talk a bit more about that, but that's a like for now. So yeah, going into the dislikes. Okay, it's gonna be a bit saucy now. I don't know what you guys are gonna be thinking about it, but dislike number 1, I'll have to say it was the stock exhaust. Didn't really have the best sound. Didn't like the sound at all. Sounded like a vacuum cleaner, and when you're riding a bike, you kind of want some grunt, you want some emotion, and that didn't bring any of it at all. So I went ahead and I changed the exhaust, which I actually should have added as another like, so I guess that's like number 4. Yeah, like number 4 is the aftermarket exhaust tone. But yeah. Dislike number 2 is actually the stock mirrors. Hey man, these things, they make the bike look like a whole insect. They're pretty insect-like, insect-shaped. I don't know if that's a me thing or if other people think the same thing, but yeah, I should get those replaced. I've been looking at getting aftermarket mirrors for the longest time. Haven't gotten exactly to doing that, but yeah. And then dislike number 3, I'm actually going to say it's the stock seat. It's a bit hard on long distances. You do get a very sore butt after a long time. But I mean, it's not a touring bike. Obviously, it's not meant for that. It's more of a in-town city bike mostly. But I do enjoy going on highways and stuff. And I do find myself getting a bit uncomfortable after, let's say, 30 minutes, 45 minutes on a ride. So that coupled with, obviously, wind exposure, the wind hitting your chest and everything, not the best experience. So yeah. Dislike number 4 is the stock suspension. Hey man, this thing, the rear shock is very bouncy. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not very confidence inspiring when you're in the corners. I'm just bouncing around while you're mid-turn. Can you imagine like you're in the middle of a turn and the bike is wobbling underneath you? Yeah, I've had some scary oh shit moments because of that. But yeah, it's okay. And then for the next section, I'm just going to rapid fire some minor annoyances, some things that you don't really classify as something you can acknowledge like that. It's just a few minor nitpicks here and there. I'm just going to rapid fire them anyway. So the stock lights, the stock front lights, they don't really illuminate that well. It's because they're halogens. I should get those replaced to LEDs. And the distance that they shoot out is not really confidence inspiring at night. So it does get a bit iffy when you're riding ebusuku. And then minor dislike number 2 is this tail section right here. I mean, it gets the job done by preventing mud from sliding and flopping all over your backpack or on your back onto your helmet and everything, but the way it looks, it just doesn't look quite pretty, I would say. The tail tidy was going to be in store for it, but then I thought about the whole mud and the whole shebang thing, so I guess I'm just going to keep it there for now. And then minor annoyance number 3, I'm really not a big fan of how rusty the bike gets as stock. These bikes kind of had a rust problem. It was never like a big problem where there were parts that were getting very compromised because of the rust, but I think it's just something that I don't really like seeing, especially if you don't really keep your bike indoors that much. I couldn't back last year when I was studying in Port Elizabeth. But yeah, that's my entire likes and dislikes list. Nothing major, nothing bad. I've really got nothing bad to say about this bike. For what it is, bang for buck, it's worth it in my opinion. It's gonna bring you lots of smiles. It's gonna give you lots of fun, and it's gonna prove pretty reliable. So yeah, score out of 10, give it a solid 7.5. So yeah, thanks for watching.